Okay, welcome to another episode of Painting Thoughts. And today I'm going to look at an artist I came across on Google Arts and Culture. I also saw his TED talk and was mighty impressed by his work. So, yeah. All right, the name of the artist is JR, that stands for Jean Ren. And these are a set of like photographs he stuck on um, these favelas in Rio de Janeiro, and these are basically eyes on these houses. And for me, I think this represents that famous quote of the seen and the unseen. And when we look at these houses, we think that there's a lot of order, but there's also a lot of disorder. We don't know what's happening in these houses. There may be a lot of crime, but there also may be a lot of prosperity. So I think this image really like throws light on how our assumptions are so influenced by how we look at the world and how we. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. Or maybe I can't. But yeah, so he's created, I think eyes are something that really fascinate him. And I think eyes are really like the entryway into the soul of an individual, right? So if you look at this, each eye is almost expressing something else, though they don't look very different. The eye on the left over here is sort of sorry. The eye on the left over here is sort of surprised, and the eye in the middle over here is curious. The eye over here is like in wonder. The eye over here is tired. The eye over here is like a little child that's curious. The eye over here is like observing and saying, like sort of judging. The eye over here is interested or angry. I don't know. This one is definitely angry. This one is observing. This one's in meditation. This one's like in their mid 50s. So each eye is saying another story, right? And these houses, each house in a lot of ways says its own story. So I think it's easy for us to, form generalizations of countries and people, based on what we hear in the media. But I think it's really important to give people the benefit of doubt. People contain multitudes. Like my favorite podcaster, Amit Verma, says, and um, you can't just define people by the places they belong to. They can be way more than the places that they belong to. And I think that's what JR stands for. I think for JR, the streets are like the best art galleries in the world. And I think this artwork really represents that vision. Yeah, and I think in these painting thoughts series, what I try and do is I look at images, illustrations, logos, advertisements, and I try sharing my thoughts. Sometimes I'll use the see, think, wonder. Sometimes I just talk about how these artworks were placed in a specific socio political context and what they're trying to represent and say. So I'm just really passionate and curious about art, and my vision with this series is to sort of document some thoughts on artworks that I really appreciate.